Well, have anybody got anything that they want to bring up before the club, talk about? Jerry? Okay, well, Jerry will be back in a minute. Uh, hey, okay, go ahead.
Uh, we participated in the St. Jude's auction over in Tuscumbia in July. And the club's donations raised $5,200 for St. Jude's auction. So it's good, very successful.
That is fantastic. And I tell you, there's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't know how y'all are, but there's a lot of things that I don't I a lot of these gimme programs, I don't know. But this St. Jude's Miracle Network, uh, Shriners Crippled Children's, stuff like that, guys, I'm gonna tell you, it goes to man, it's fantastic. And they need all the money that they can get. And like he said, the guys that done whatever they done and gave to him to give to them to auction off, we know what we done. We know how much time it took us at the lathe, and we know what we've done. But look at what he carried down there, and look at what it turned into. You can take a very small something and very small amount of money, a little bit of work, and turn it into something that is really gonna make some money when it comes to the causes that he's striving and working toward. And there's some stuff that I could say, but I'm not. Uh, because guys, I get too emotional. I really get too emotional. But who knows about the situation I have with my grandson that could talk? Jerry? Uh, okay. Jerry or whoever that knows the situation, that I've got with a grandson. If y'all know, just give a brief thing, and then y'all will know why I get so emotional. Whoever, whichever, Jerry. He just turned 9 years old.
He's born with some type of condition where he can't eat food, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever eaten food his whole life. He can taste stuff on his tongue, I think an ice cube or something. But he's in the hospital right now again with a blood clot on his lung.
Yeah, he's in children's.
He goes to school and he has a little bag of something that they feed him through his he's got an NV tube or something. I don't know.
He's on a tube. He wasn't supposed to live to be 6 months old.
And I think what you've been talking about, Make-A-Wish and all these.
Make-A-Wish.
That last year they went down to Dish and World for a week or something. They got all the postpaid shifts. Make-A-Wish did that.
Yeah.
So like they've been in hospital. He's been in the hospital about every 6-7 months. He has to go in. It seems like he's whenever on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it meant a lot to the families, that had to go with the group because I don't know what his predicted lifespan is, but
Well, they don't know because there's nobody ever lived that long. There's one girl that's lived longer than he has. And
but he's never tasted a cookie or eaten a cookie or a steak or Cheerios or anything. He's a trooper.
Oh yeah. Just like we had a birthday party. He had a cupcake for a cake, had a candle on it, blowed the candle out, and he got up, went off about his business.
But he couldn't eat it, did
he? No. And what is so something, I don't know what is to me. You know, most kids, man, how you gonna keep them out of a cabinet of cookies or candy or whatever? He don't even, he don't even have a desire to get in it. But he's never tasted it. And he's on this, it's a bag, it's about, well, he don't wear it to school. They finally got him, he's on it 16 hours a day. And they hook him up when he gets home from school. Through the night, he has it. He gets up in the morning, they get him all ready, and off he goes. And to see him, you wouldn't really realize anything wrong with him. He's out here running around. You know, to see him, you wouldn't think there was anything wrong with him. You could put him in a line of 10 kids and never know it. But
You know, in the St. Jude's thing, a realtor that sold us our house years ago in Huntsville, her son started having these bumps all over him, and they didn't know what it was, so they said it was St. Jude's. It turned out not to be cancer, but she was telling us, we saw her, she said that they just said, give us your insurance card, anything else they don't cover, don't worry about it.
yeah, well,
Place to stay while they were evaluating the son.
yeah.
They said, don't worry about the rest of it, we'll take care of it.
Well, people just don't realize what it is. And just like the son-in-law, he's had to be at the hospital all week. Alex has been down there all week, and he didn't feel good. Saturday was a week ago. Today was a week ago. He didn't feel good, so they carried him to the hospital. He wasn't acting right, so they carried him to the hospital, and they shipped him to Birmingham, and he's been down there a week. And they found blood clot in his lung, so they've had to yo-yo around with that. His intestines were stopped up. Well, there's nothing but liquid, but after a period of time, with nothing in there and nothing goes through. But and they don't know it's a mixed up, just a chromosome missing. Everything's there. Physically, everything's there. It just don't work. This is getting a little bad, but catheter every so long, every 4 or 5 hours. But it's just, that's the way he lives. And he's something else. But anyway, guys, now that we got that, I hate to talk about, I know it's boring, but it don't really matter. But guys, if you any way you can give something, make something that'll do that. And it matters not whether it's St. Jude, Make-A-Wish, Shriners Burn Center. Guys, y'all don't realize, it really, when it hits home, it's different. And they need every nickel, dime, penny, and quarter. And I think Judy knows more about this. Judy has made dolls for Make-A-Wish. And they've auctioned those off. And Make-A-Wish, every dollar, St. Jude's, every dollar goes to the cause. I know there's people it's up over everything, but the money that he was raising, that money will go straight to the cause. Okay. Anybody got anything else? If we hadn't, Miss Jean is going to do her demo today. Oh, hey, Jerry has come up on, you want to come up here? You want to do it? Okay. You're the one that talked to him, but Jerry has just kind of stumbled up on an opportunity. It was nothing that he knew anything about. It was just, he stumbled up on it and the opportunity has arisen and he's going to tell you about it.
Well, we drove up to Ardmore, Tennessee to get a lot of tickets. Took Thursday, Wednesday, we didn't win. But on the way back, the Welcome Center, they tore that thing down 2, 3 years ago and redid the whole welcome center up there. And so we said, we'll come back, so let's stop in and look. So we did, we got looking around. They have a separate room that's probably bigger than this, just Alabama. They got it divided into 4 different sections with brochures like for Northern Alabama, Central, then all the way down, and then one hole for the beach. They got brochures on everything, but they have these display cases all over the stuff up there. And we got talking to them, and one thing led to another, and I said, hey, we got a North Alabama wood turners, and they go, we'd love to have some of that stuff. That was in the morning, so we went home, ate, drove back up there with a little bit of stuff. And they were ecstatic over these things. We made a little card, said North Alabama wood turners. And don't put my name on it, just, that she took it and changed it around, made another one, put my name, said these turners by Jerry. So what I'm getting at is, they want stuff up there, and they said that they would welcome if y'all want to come up do a demo sometime, but they're looking for stuff to put in this case. The case is all, got a big glass cover, this is a picture of it here. But they're looking for stuff. They had some little knickknacks because they didn't have anything, so I was talking back and forth to Gary. I think we can get more than one shelf in this place. The shelf's like 16 inches tall, 12 inches deep, and about 3 or 4 feet wide. So if you can put some big bowls or something in there. So they're looking for stuff. In fact, she was enthusiastic about it. So if you want to display something, and she wanted to know how they could contact me. I said, no, I don't. But if you made a card or something, you could probably put your name or a way to contact you, maybe an email address or something. If somebody wanted to buy something, they said they can't sell it there, but if you wanted to leave some information, so if somebody wanted to contact. But one lady said during the summer, one lady that works there said during the summertime, she tried to count people coming in 1 hour, and she said she counted 273, but she said they probably missed a lot. So she was estimating 300 or more in 1 hour come in and out of that building. But we've got there's a shelf on there that has North Alabama. She sent me a picture of it. I passed it around, but this is just some stuff I brought up there. But she was looking for, I brought some gnomes too, and she said, well, not now, maybe every 2 or 3 months we can swap it out and put like Christmas ornaments when it gets down that time or stuff like that. So if you want to display some stuff out there, they're welcome. I think they would give us more room.
They were a little picky because we brought a whole box full of stuff. They didn't want to go seasonal, and you couldn't cook anything religious, because we were telling them, we got this praying hands with the prayer around the edge, and they go, you can't put that here, but. And they were trying to keep seasonal, so we brought in a bunch of stuff, and they were picking and choosing about what they put up. They didn't frame the shelf full, they were trying to make it more like a museum type, instead of just put a whole mess of stuff in there. But, it was a little strange to begin with, that, oh, no, we want this, but then when you think about what they were doing, they said, we'll bring those back closer to Christmas or something, you know? So.
They want stuff to promote Alabama, and I told them that, I think in Kentucky, Tennessee, Welcome Center, there's supposed to be something there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, they said, we want stuff. I mean, they were excited about having something to put up there like this, so I told it as a club, but I think you can put, you want to know if they sell the stuff and all, they couldn't sell it, but if you want to pick something up there with a card with your contact information, she said that's fine, so people coming in, so anybody wants to put anything up there, probably.
They can take orders there, but they can't sell them.
Well, the thing of it is, guys, is it's just an outlet to let people know that there's a wood turning club in North Alabama.
You can leave them as long as you want, or pick it up and.
And
Swap it out, take something else.
you might not, hey, we might not get any members, but somebody will know, at least they'll know we're here. They'll at least know we're here. And it looks like we hadn't got any problems with members. We've got our members. So, but guys, if there's any of y'all that does that stuff that may want to put something up there, I guess since Jerry talked to him, talk to Jerry and he can tell you more about what to do and how to go or
Take it up there. We get about, and, it's a big case, big glass, and they have to take an excavator and pull that whole thing off so nobody can get to it. And I think that cabinet's about 8 feet tall, and that's just one of many they've got, so they want stuff, especially from Alabama, made from Alabama.
yeah,
There's two that size, there's four that are about half that size.
yeah,
They're looking for stuff. They got these little figure me.
yeah,
That you're stuffing off, and they don't have anything, but
Yeah.
I saw this, so I'm sure there's some big bowls or platters or something they would.
Figure.
well, I don't know, it's kind of like that art council stuff that, it's over in Gunnersville. I don't participate in that. Me and Royal, when they first started it, me and Royal carried stuff over there and left it, and I carried a bunch of wine stoppers and I counted them, kept up with them. Then when I went back and got them, there was 3 of them gone. So I ain't carried nothing over there.
They looking for stuff.
Yeah. But this here is going to be behind glass. That wasn't. So, people steal. Okay, Miss Jean. Miss Jean is going to do our demo today. And I think she is jumping up and down like a one-armed paper hanger, ready to go.
Thank you. Good morning
Good morning.
to you all out here and to those people online. I tend to be a quiet turner. I generally don't joke around. I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. So if I'm quiet, if I'm not talking, it's not your ears, it's not your computer. It's just, I tend to be quiet. There's nobody to talk to in the shop when I'm actually doing work. So anyhow, I'm glad to see everybody here today. Dick and I had, you all may know, his family is from Indiana. And of course, we visit cousins up there. One of his trips up there, his cousin's wife and I and another cousin went to this little thrift shop. It's called the Nearly News Store. And they have some pretty good prices and they have some really good prices. And I was just kind of looking around, I kind of keep an eye out for the stuff that I can turn or use in turnings. And I found this little potpourri dish. And it's dated. It just is an ordinary potpourri dish. And I thought, I got to be able to do something with that. So I thought, okay, we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to do something with the bottom. We'll do something with the top. So, and it even came with potpourri in it. So we're going to get rid of the potpourri. And see what we can do with it. The first part that I'm going to work on is something that I can do with the top. And I found this potpourri stuff. It's a diffuser. It's got some cute little flowers, some little sticks that'll absorb the liquid that's in here, and then it'll diffuse the scent out into the room. So I wanted to make something that would work with this. So what we're going to start with, I've pre-rounded this. This is a piece of ash that was in the back of Staten's truck last month or so. I've done some of the preliminary work so you didn't have to sit here and watch all the boring stuff. So what I want to do first is true this up, make sure it's round like I think it is, do a little bit of decoration, then I'm going to hollow out the inside that this little bottle of stuff will fit in. And then I've got a top that'll make over the top of it that this little thing will fit over the top. Now, I do use the Easy Wood tools. They're easy to work with, especially if you're a beginning turner. My husband had gone to a woodworking class near Indianapolis, And he was talking, I had just started turning, didn't know spit from Shinola about what I was doing. And the guy said, get her a couple of easy wood tools, because there's a small learning curve. Once you figure it out, you just go with it. And then my intention was to transition over to traditional tools. Well, somehow I kind of missed that the transition phase. So I've just stuck with easy wood. I do demos for easy wood. I teach classes in Birmingham using the easy wood tools. So I kind of like them. I can do a lot of the things that traditional turners can do. There are some things I've found that just the cutter shapes just don't work. But most everything I can kind of figure out how to do what traditional people can do. So that being said, if you want to look at the tools, or if you want to come up afterwards and play with the tools, that's fine. Nice thing about the easy wood tools, they've got a cutter. I don't have to sharpen these things. I know, I can't. Bob Henry. I know he's wonderful at sharpening. I don't have to go find Bob Henry whenever I need a tool sharpen. I just change the blade on it. There's 3 rules for the easy wood tools. Flat on your tool rest, parallel, flat on the tool rest, because you've got a flat bar. So that needs to be flat on your tool rest, needs to be parallel to the ground and on the center line of your work. That's it. So that's where I'm going to start. Needs a little more. One thing that the easy wood folks have mentioned to me recently is that if you have a piece of wood, sometimes, wood just will not turn the way you want it to turn. Crank the speed up. Maybe not to 1100, but turn your speed up a bit. And I have found that really does work a lot. It works well. There are 3 different shapes of cutters. There's square ones, there's round ones, and then there's a diamond pointed one. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of scoop out the inside a little bit. I'm just do some decoration. My intention is to put a little scooped out area and then a couple beads on either side. They also make beading cutters. This one is 3/16. It range, I think there goes from, there's an 1/8, 3/16, something else maybe in a quarter. And it just rounds over your cool bead. All right, so that's the outside. I'm gonna round over the bottom edge. So what do you think? Will it look okay?
Yep.
All right, now we'll hollow out the inside. Getting sawdust in my tool bag. Where's Jack? Just wondering where Jack was.
He's not, I got to turn that black candle. Versus,
There it goes. Because the chuck wasn't seating right. Thank you. All right.
you pull the tail stock away, you can see that it's piece moved.
Thank you.
Where did it get from?
I'm not sure. The question was, where did they get the Forstner bits? May have been the tool shed. I'm not sure. We will look for, there's a set of about 8 of them and it goes up to like 3.5 inches, starts at 2 or something like that. I think we better stop there. Or we may not have a bottom to this. Yeah, we're gonna stop there. Got a little carried away. We're gonna put that thing right there and let it cool down a bit. So now we'll make the hole just a little bit bigger. I know this is kind of like watching paint dry. I apologize. Sorry. I'm sorry. We got 2 more to go. Hush. We're not talking about things that are going wrong.
I had cleaning thing go wrong here.
Good. We're trying not to have things go wrong.
Put that beeswax on there before you stick it in. Yeah. Put it on the cutting.
On the cutting edge. We'll see if that helps. See if that helps. maybe. Right? It's not quite big enough. We need to do some turning. I think that's going to work just about perfect. You just check the fiddle a little bit further in.
Judy, why are you using that short tool instead of the longer one on that big stuff?
Because I can't get the leg of the tool without taking this past the camera, and
Okay.
so I would rather use the long one, the longer tool. So the question was, why was I using the short tool instead of the long tool? Just to that one, let me give that one a try. All right. So there's the bottom. Just round over the edge just a little bit. All right, that's not the cleanest job. I'll clean that up later, but that's what we got so far. What we still have to do is take the tenon off. I'll worry about that later too. So far we got that. Now we need a top to put this in. So
Not too bad.
I didn't ask Jack how to take the chuck off.
The button on the front, we can put in the pocket.
Okay. Right there's your block button.
Okay. you. Now, what we need to do for the top is make the hole big enough that this will fit into, but not so big that it falls through. And it should make it about 1/4 of an inch. Right, we're gonna have to go up the next size, drill it.
painted one like that, and the wood wasn't. It wasn't wet, but it wasn't completely dry. When it dried, it stuck down on that glass piece. You can't get that out of it. I made those little oil candles before, found wood limbs, and I've had them crushed. Yeah. You know, where they set up in the cabinet for a couple of months.
I was surprised it didn't crack the wood.
No.
Yeah, as tight as it got on there, I think it cracked the wood, but it didn't. You can't get it out of there.
Right, so we got that little piece that'll now fit in there. I don't know if you can see it on the TV screen or not. Got a little nick right there in the wood. We're going to round over the edge. Didn't quite, you can see it right there. I think we got it. Now, just to make this pretty, we'll put another bead up here at the top. And to make the side, match the bottom. We'll put a couple beads there too. Right, so what we've got so far, we got a bottom, we got half of the top. Got the little top part. And we'll flip this around and drill out for the stopper, the top of the bottom. Just to kind of protect the bead a little bit.
When I put a new cutter in, I take a black magic marker and color the top of it. That way I know which sides I've used and which sides I haven't.
What I do on the square cutter is I'll put 1 hash mark and then 2 and 3 and then 4 to do just the same thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise I go, and then I'll also write on the little paper that comes with the cutter. I'll write on it when I change to the different sides, in case I don't remember which side I was on.
Well, if you color the top of it, the wood that you're cutting takes that off.
Yeah.
So it's very evident which ones you use and which ones you haven't.
Right now we're going to drill through all the way through for the stopper, all the way through to the hole that I just put on the other end. Not quite through yet. See how close we are. Gotta be getting close. We'll see how clean the cut is on the other side. And quite want to give. Now, what you would do with if you've actually got one of these, you have to take this little ring off, pop the seal off. Then you take the little reed things and they actually soak up the oil. And then, well, then you put the little cap back on, then put these in. So these would also fit around in here. I just wasn't gonna open them yet, but you get the general idea. So that's your little potpourri pot. That's it. We took care of the top. Now we need to do the bottom. We're gonna go with Plan B.
The way Gene. You're loosening that through.
I'm sorry?
You're loosening it. Trying to do.
Yeah.
Goes backward, Chuck, so yeah.
Yep. All right. I didn't really have a design in mind for this one. So I thought maybe I'd make it into kind of a pyramid triangle thing. All right, so we took care of the top, now we got to do the bottom. Now I've got a tenon that's sized on the inside of this piece that will fit in here. I forgot to check if the tenon works with chuck. The tenon doesn't work with the chuck. So that's why I had to go back to the bigger chuck grab here. So we'll have some design changes in here. Yes.
We don't get one of that, that'll fit your tenant.
Yeah, but this is a design opportunity. kind of a little interesting.
What is that white stuff? Is that coriander or something?
It's called Fitzwood, found in the shop. I have absolutely no idea what kind it is. It was just kind of pretty, and the size of the wood I had kind of fit with what I was trying to do. It's very, very soft. You can kind of clean that up a little. See if the beading tool can help make the transition between the three pieces look a little better. Well, it's doing something. I don't know that I like that. Sometimes a little bit of sandpaper helps everything. So that's as good as it's going to get for the top. Now we're going to make a little round top knot. Almost. Oh, it's got its little top knot. Now this is where we make it something a little different. I got a couple of these little bitty lights. Amazon. Amazon is where the little lights came from.
Don't give me life.
I don't know. I don't know how long they last. There's a place also in Kokomo, Indiana. It's called Kokomo Optical Glass or something like that. But they make a lot of the glass for like Tiffany lamps. That's where some of the products or some of their glass is used. And they let you periodically go through their slag heap and take the glass pieces.
My God, man.
Do you want to put it somewhere else? Oop. Will this work?
Camera sometimes.
If you need more lights, I've got some more.
No.
Okay.
Me? Want the lights off? That's hard to take a picture. It's hard to take a picture. No, you kind of have to go on television.
All right. So we went from, in essence, something that was kind of similar to this, to something that's a little different. So that's it. So I think the potpourri dish, I think that theme kind of got carried on in the back. So I'm gonna turn it back over, the meeting back over to Jack. Or somebody.
I don't know what we're gonna turn those to. Here, you can turn. I bet turn. Okay. I guess so. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If we didn't get something out of this, something wrong. Has anybody got anything they want to say? Yes, sir. Mr. Jim?
We're just talking about the Christmas ornaments that, you know, for the, there's a thing down in Birmingham. Or, I don't know if it's the St. Jude, which one was it?
That's Children's Hospital.
The Children's Hospital?
That's,
And I was talking to Jerry a while ago and I was telling him, we got kind of a side conversation, but
I'll slide that way.
where's your camera? You wanna,
Right now, you're looking right there, right, Jim.
right there.
okay, well, I don't know.
They will see you right there. Good.
Okay, right here.
See that?
Yeah.
That's a Christmas, well, it's a snowman that I made this past year. And just a little trick to make the nose instead of like a carrot or something. I wanted something a little different. You see it's a little piece of wood that I stained a different color. The nose is red and the buttons on the front are, I think I stained them like a dark walnut or something like that. And then the two eyes are little hat pins that I cut off the hat pin and then drilled a little hole and stuck it on into the wood and left the plastic end pieces on so that it makes nice little eyes. But the nose, my wife really loves little button down things. And I bought those at Hobby Lobby. They come in a little pack of these little wooden dowel things that are rounded on the top and they got a little insert piece in. And then I just put some cloth around it, what have you, can decorate how you want to. But that was just an easy way to make a snowman. And that one's a little bit bigger. I've got some that I made small that you can put a little hook on and put a hanger on and hang it on a Christmas tree. So if you're interested in, I know people are starting to kind of start gear up for Christmas and what have you. So if you want to make a snowman or make something like that, I use those little wooden buttons and they are just so easy. It's just so easy to make that way because they don't cost about $1.50 for a pack of 10 or 15 and they come in different sizes. So you can make a little bigger ones for the belly buttons, you know, or the buttons down the front and a little smaller one for the nose or however you want, a big one for the nose. But Jerry wanted me to share that because it's just a little trick that I learned and apparently he hadn't picked up on that one yet.
Oh, it's great on next time.
Well, I can bring one. I made a couple of them, but if y'all are making something for the, you know, for the Birmingham.
When are we supposed to turn those things? Next month?
I don't have a
Yeah,
clue.
turn them in next month, because they'll put the tree up, first couple of weeks of November, I think it is, it's before Thanksgiving, they put the tree. So if you can, next month be ideal. And if you can't get them, to get with me or Gary or Jack or somebody, and we'll get them to whoever. We'll do that.
Oh, now I'm gonna tell y'all something, guys and gals. If he was saying something about the Christmas ones, anytime if y'all want to hang around, you know, all of the places that we've always met at, we've always kind of had a cutoff time. Got to get out of here by a certain time. Birmingham, you had to get out at 12, at 1 o'clock at the latest. Well, guys, we ain't got no getting out here. You know,
If some of y'all would like to get together and do some ornaments, there's 7 lathes in my shop. And I've got, I don't know how many, plenty of tools and stuff to bring you on. I know Jack, you got what, 4 or 5 lathes over here, so I'm gonna say Jack can do it also, so. Get together, me or Jack or anybody, if you want to get 2 or 3 at a time and turn some.
well,
Whatever.
if
There's the one I turned and put on the Christmas tree, so. You know, it's
Nice.
just a little thing.
well, it's
Bring some.
bring some, Jim. Let them see.
I kind of specialize in the little Christmas, the little snowmen, so. My
Well,
wife liked them and I've made several, but I didn't make a few too. That would go way out that Carl, so I mean, you know, it's just. Look, but I use the same. Yeah. Tricks that one's got, like
for the little ones too.
the nose is I painted it orange and made kind of like carrots too.
Yeah.
Well,
But anyway, guys, if there's anything y'all want to play with, do, y'all ain't got to just when the meeting's over, y'all ain't just got to get out of here. And like Joey said, one night he left after the meeting. It was like midnight or after. My wife said it was after. But I mean, hey, I got news for you. If I get tired and I about had all I want, I'll tell you to just lock the door when you leave. And I'll just walk across the yard and go to bed. I mean, I'm not, it ain't. So if y'all want, like if you want to turn something, if you want to, say if you want to do ornaments or some kind of something special, something like this. I know in Birmingham, they used to have, I hate to keep going back to the Birmingham reference, but after the meeting, they'd go back in the little room back there in the back. They had 3 or 4 lathes back there, and they'd go back there and they charged $20 to have a little class. Somebody'd stay and do a class. Well, we can stay here and do a class. It ain't gonna cost you no $20. But we can do, we can do something anytime you want to do it, it's available. So now let's go back here, I guess, I guess that was all we had, right?
That's show and tell.
Okay, we're gonna do the show and tell. You look like Hawaiian.
I am Hawaii.
Well, I guess, I mean, I guess I can. Yep, okay. Who's, somebody tell us about this. Tom Wing. Come tell us about this, Tom. Who's it? And whoever's this one gonna be next?
That's mine.
Oh, okay.
This is that piece of box elder that I cut down around the barn up at my daughter's place, and it's pretty wild stuff. And this is a multimedia deal. I found this at an estate sale, and I thought I'd put it to use and made a bowl to sit underneath it. So that was, and the other day I found a base that's like this, that I'm gonna use, for a cremation urn.
Hmm.
On the inside of it. This was some of that walnuts that we had that, they kept cracking all the time.
Well, see, that's another idea as far as like what Gene done on the demo today. Took something somewhere else and put something together and made something out of it. Now, Jerry brought the birdhouses and he made the birdhouses for make the bunch. And I went up to his house a month ago. Well, it was right after the meeting. And I've been wanting to make one of them. So I went up to his house and I made this birdhouse, stained it and all of that kind of stuff. And then Judy and my wife, Sandra, put the bling on it. Well, I've come back in here and I thought, I need to put a light in that thing. So anyway, I talked to Dennis and I thought about something and I took a tea light apart, took the bulb off, desoldered it, but I've got my battery holder and a switch off one of the little tea lights. Put a wire on it. So this I've got, and I'll show you the other part. I'm thinking about taking either this, drill a hole, Forstner bit, drill a hole in the bottom, put this in it, drill a hole up through it, run the wire up through it, and put the light on the side up in the top. Then you can turn the light on and off. Now this is a little twinkle twinkle light. I don't like the twinkle twinkle, the ones I've got. Well, Dennis, since I talked to him, by the way, if y'all don't know it, Dennis is pretty smart on this electronic stuff. And anyway, he come up with some stuff, a different switch and battery. And this is a clear bulb. That's a clear bulb. And you could, I like that better than the yellow twinkle twinkle. So I've got to figure out how to mount this as a battery box, and that's the little switch. Well, who glued the top on? Trying to blame it on me. Oh, okay, I got you. Well, yeah, you can do that, but Dennis also said something that you could do. These are usually sitting around. They're not hanging, right? Or is yours hanging and sitting, or just, this is a set, the little bitty ones is the one that hangs. Don't glue the top on. Thread it. Oh, Judy.
You could use those 3D printed thread set.
Yeah, if we had somebody that do them. But anyway, Dennis said, well, what about don't glue the top on. Take a Forstner bit, recess it up in the top, glue this up, hot glue it up in there, and then just take the top off, turn the light on, set it back down.
Okay. If you put it,
Yeah, you could figure out a way to do it.
if you put it right above your hole, you could just reach in there and hit the switch.
Yeah, but
Reach through the hole.
Yeah, then you gotta change the battery out.
yeah, but you got to change the battery out in the little case, and it just snaps together.
Okay.
But
Take a router and dig up in the bottom overhang. You got a big overhang there in the back.
well, yeah, you could do that. So Jerry, you made these just the birdhouses. Then I come up with an idea about said, no, you gotta put eggs in them. And the birds and all this, now we gotta fix them with lights. Now,
And it's all his fault.
now, okay, now,
Don't know the difference.
I'm gonna tell you,
Now you'll have to top, paper thin, so the light will shine through the top. Cause every time they eat, every time the lights come on, they gotta go eat.
There you go.
well, okay, we got, we got the eggs, the little bird, the mama feeding the bird, and all that other kind of stuff.
Okay, the butterfly on it too.
And Judy put a butterfly. We got Kylie on working on the way. Now, who's gonna work on putting water in it? If you got lights, you gotta have water, running water. Next thing we'll have is have to have a bathroom. So who's it stop? Yeah.
It's so thin so that the light will shine through the wood now.
Yep.
That's right.
Why Jack? Why not Jim?
Now, guy.
Well, you.
You got more there.
Anyway, okay, guys, here's I don't know what, this is, some kind of jig. Whose is this? Oh,
Telling you about. On her challenge, when I had to spray that with the lacquer,
oh, yeah,
I couldn't figure out how to hold it. You know, because I had my hand like this, and trying to spray it, and it was getting all over my hand, so this is something we came up with, just put this in there and tighten it up. Then get it in there.
got you a handle.
Then you got a handle, then you can clamp it with a wood clamp or something, let it dry by just setting it there, just something. And then you can make that little rod longer or bigger, so if you got a wider opening, just something I came up with in case.
Yeah, okay. Well, see. That's all kind of stuff. Just think of the knowledge that's in it around. Okay, Bob.
Yeah.
Now here,
I went to the Mark Adams School and took a course from Hans Eisflaw in Germany. They close these spider box tops. They cut in one direction on the top and another direction underneath. And that's what I'm gonna be demonstrating in November. Ooh. And you can do it with, different types of things. The idea is to have the inside cut different than the outside.
And not go too far.
Of course, you have to make a little tool to do that.
so that's gonna be here.
1/4-inch drills. And just turn them around, put a little handle on them, then sharpen them. But I found that I can do just as well with just a plain 1/4-inch rod. I started to buy tool steel and then I found out how much tool steel costs for a quarter. How about a hacksaw blade? Well, that's too thin. Yeah, I mean, if you look at these, it's 1/16 of an inch, something like that. But you just shape it down to a little, basically a little scrape. Then it's being very careful.
So this is gonna be our demo in November.
Yeah.
All right.
Use my little line of this.
Right, because you can't see across the room.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry, flip the lights a minute. Yeah, it showed up.
You can look at it, it'll be.
Yeah.
New button is not there, Jim. So how did you do the offset? That's what the demonstration is for.
Yeah.
The offset?
Okay, Mark, Mr. Mark, got some nice looking writing utensils up here.
You flattened out.
These are pins, as pin goes, I've done better, I guess. This is a Laura Fedlin bush, made this one out of. Believe it or not, it looked like somebody took some bleeding red elder and cut it up for firewood. I got this at a supermarket. and a big top and about ink pen stuff is about all I can do. But the main reason I brought these, both of these are ultra cheap Amazon pen kits. I didn't know if anybody had to fool with these or not. This pen, I've got $1.50 in the kit. This pen, about $2. I got it when there was some kind of discount thing. Current price for this, I think a dozen of these is like $38, and about 28 for these, and they come in various things. This pretty good kit, this little slimline. I will tell you, I've had about 3 transmission failures with these. So, I don't know how good the quality is going to be, but what you get, that right there, no instructions, you figure it out. That's all you get when you order. But if you want to do some cheap pen kits, you can get them as they are right now, or you can wait for a special, and you could turn some pens with about $2 or $3 in your kit.
Well, you can always buy one Penn State that has instructions and then buy the cheap ones. You don't say instructions.
Go to the website.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah.
The only thing I had, this is just standard 7mm bushing. That wasn't a problem. This pen is bigger here than here, and the bushing, I ended up just taking my calipers and matching it as best I could. They are from China. That's all I'll say about that. But anyway, if anybody'd like to look the kit over, that's what you get for cheap pen.
All right, the next thing looks like Steve's wife's, Steve Krebs. This looks like his wife's
Yarn holder.
yarn.
Instead of a yarn bowl. And I fixed that up about 10 years ago. This is water oak. The knob is black cherry. And it does actually work. You can pull it out from there. And then the weight will hold it in place.
That's
And
the,
I used a piece of scrap that was in the barrel that was going to be going to burn.
how about that? A new way to make
The only
them.
thing I really had to do after I took it off the bandsaws, flatten the edges and sand the crap out of it.
How about that for a yarn bowl?
Piece off the top.
Piece off the top,
Right off.
put it off, but
That's-
just.
That way you don't have to find the yarn in the ball.
Right,
Right.
you just set it there
I'm
and
basically.
pull it out the
check.
center.
Okay. I'll tell you. All right, I guess it's time for the drawing. The challenge piece. All right, we got 26 signatures. We need us a random number.
Full ticket. 20.
Number 20. All right, let's see who number 20 is. Come on now. John Myers. John Myers. Do you want the challenge piece?
I'll do the challenge.
Okay, Mr. John Myers has got the challenge piece. So next month, we'll see what he brings back.
I bet it'll be wrong.
I bet it, bet it will too. Might be square. Okay. Since I hadn't got any dogs in this fight, we'll let Miss Judy draw a number out. Okay, let's see who's on the back of that. Steve Krebs. Mr. Steve Krebs.
Turn the camera on.
All right. Here you go, draw a number before you run out the door. Mr. Dennis Brooks. Mr. Brooks. So. Steve Craps.
Yeah. No, I'm over.
Tom McGrath. Where is Tom?
All you folks out there, we're through, so we'll catch you next time. See you then.